Yo, what up? It's your boy Southside Geek A60 back with another video, and we have another video from New Rockstars. And it's the Batman Part 2. Sebastian Stan, Two-Face, Harvey Dent confirmed. Let's get it. Okay, make sure.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and it is confirmed that Sebastian Stan will be in the Batman Part 2 playing Harvey Dent.
That's
Two-Face
crazy.
Harvey Dent in the Matt Reeves universe of the DC universe. Not
Alongside
officially
Scarlett
James Gunn
Johansson.
DCU canon, but its own side universe that arguably might be better, at least for Batman. This is huge news coming to us from our friends at The Hollywood Reporter this week, already confirming that Sebastian Stan was being eyed to be part of the Batman Part 2, a movie that already has Robert Pattinson,
That's
Scarlett Johansson, Barry Keoghan. You have
That's right.
everybody
Barry
who was in
Keoghan's
the
coming
previous movie
back.
coming back in
Yeah.
this one. Maybe even Oz Cobblepot is coming back from the Penguin series. Let's talk about this. This is major news that was confirmed here on Friday afternoon. And in this video, I'm just going to break down everything that we know about the Batman Part 2 and what this really tells us about the future of Sebastian
Dude,
Stan in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
This is great casting. When I first found out that he was casted, I kind of believed it, but I wasn't sure. And when they confirmed it, I didn't read the entire article, so I didn't know who he was rumored. Now it's confirmed, but I didn't know he was rumored to play. And I was like, damn, I don't know who he's gonna play. He's gonna play some kind of like some sleazy mob guy, or he's gonna play some kind of lawyer. Like, I don't know why, but I didn't think he was gonna. I'm so dumb. I don't know why. I didn't think he was gonna play like a major character. Nonetheless, fucking Two-Face, dude, that is incredible casting, dog. And Sebastian Stan, he's already a star, but like the Winter Soldier, his role as the Winter Soldier is like he is forever like associated with Sebastian Stan, obviously. But you know what I'm trying to say. But I felt like this role could really like put him like as like he's like already up here. I'm trying to say I feel like him playing this character could put him like right here. Dude, Sebastian Stan, if y'all haven't watched anything he's been in besides him playing the Winter Soldier in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I highly recommend you watching Tonya. That's a true story about the ice skater. Tonya something, I forgot. He is incredible. I haven't watched him play Tommy Lee Jones, and you know, and that Hulu show about, you know, him and Pamela Anderson's tape. So yeah, but anyways, great casting. Can't wait to see him as Harvey Dent. And I wonder if he's going to become Harvey Dent. I mean, if he's going to become Two-Face in the movie, or that's gonna be, you know, the next movie or whatever. But yeah, let's get it.
Verse for better or for worse. So here's what happened earlier this week. You had various different news sources, including, you know, some scoopers of the world like Jeff Snyder, and then the Hollywood Reporter and other trades saying that Sebastian Stan is being looked at for the Batman Part 2. He's been in talks for the Batman Part 2. This is the sequel to the 2022 Robert Pattinson Batman film. This movie is coming October 1st, 2027. October 1st, 2027. I mean, it's been on my
that's not
calendar
me. The
with a
video,
little bat signal on it.
like, fucking up. That's not me.
And ever since then, we're just kind of waiting to see what happens with this movie. It's going into production in the next few months this spring in the UK.
Fucking
So
finally.
you're going to be hearing a lot of casting reports about this. It's very exciting news. And
been
then
4
breaking
years.
news on Friday, in the Heat Vision newsletter, they dropped this little item here. I don't know if you can see it, that Harvey Dent is the character that he's playing. Harvey Dent, of course, the Gotham City District Attorney who becomes Two-Face. You don't have Harvey Dent in the movie unless he's going to become Two-Face. It's kind of, you know, casting Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent and Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight.
He was also
yeah,
great.
He's probably going to be Two-Face by the end of it. Now, does this mean he's going to be the villain? Is he just going to be kind of in a prosecutorial role, helping solve crimes in the way that Jim Gordon in The World's Greatest Detective does? Maybe that's it, because we don't know if there's going to be a third movie in this franchise, but it really does look like they're sticking with this long Halloween approach, right? And we're gonna see a new take on Harvey Dent. And I gotta say, Sebastian Stan is great casting for this. And with him and Scarlett Johansson in this movie, we're seeing a pretty glorious afterlife for some of these Marvel Cinematic Universe veterans.
It doesn't matter though. I don't
so
care.
again, yeah, this movie is coming.
Yeah, they are highly associated with those roles from Marvel. But like, I don't care about that. They're great actors either way. Sad to say that.
October 1st, 2027. And I don't think we're going to see any other Batman movie in 2026 this year or anything like that. So the soonest we would see the DCU Batman movie, which we think will still be called a Brave and the Bold type story at least, would be 2028. James Gunn has said he's not going to release two different versions of Batman on the big screen in the same year. Now, how will this be affected if Warner Brothers gets purchased by Netflix, which looks like it's going to happen? This movie's still going to release in theaters, no matter what. There's no way they're going to even make a Batman movie unless it has a chance to release in a big screen cinema format. That's what Ted Sarandos, Netflix CEO, has even said, like, hey, we're only doing this because like there's another vertical, a profit vertical that Netflix sees as profitable. So yeah, you'll see things like HBO and HBO Max content that might, you know, have some overlap with the Netflix programming. I did see this concept art by this artist, Good Night Drew, that kind of conceives what Sebastian Stan could look like using the Aaron Eckhart.
I was gonna say that's that version of
Christopher Nolan's Batman, and the way that you know, that kind of erased part of his face. But there's lots of other fan art out there, but I just thought this was inspired. Good job, Good Night Drew. Oh, good for you. You made some good art for us. But this is really, really exciting news. And yes, I'm not going to give you my email, not while I'm live streaming. But here's
that's why it's probably
really,
choppy.
really cool
Okay.
about this is like, yeah, it feels more substantial, doesn't it? I mean, that 2022, the Batman movie was in some ways the best on-screen depiction of Batman. And I'm including the Christopher Nolan trilogy in that comparison because I loved Christopher Nolan's trilogy, but it was more.
All right. I'm shaking my head, yes, but I'm waiting to see more of his Bruce Wayne, because we've seen so much of his Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman. I want to see how he is as Bruce Wayne, and we're gonna see him because Christian Bale's Batman was like he knew how to play the role of, he knew how to use Bruce Wayne, like the persona to his advantage. I'm trying to say, the Robert Pattinson version, he's still so much like, fuck that. No, I'm Batman. I'm trying to say, like, fuck, that's not important to me. No, he still hasn't found out that he could also use, you know, him being Bruce Wayne to help him also as Batman. I'm trying to say he hasn't figured that out yet. So, one, I'm waiting to see how he is when he does. Also, I can't wait, and I can't believe we're gonna see that in live action. We're gonna see him like figure out and learn, like, holy shit, I don't have to just be Batman all the time and fight crime being Batman. I could fight crime also being Bruce Wayne. Like, I have weight. I had, and like, not just money. Well, yeah, money, but his name has weight. I'm trying to say. So like, I'm holding off on saying that he's the best adaptation so far, just in case he doesn't do a good Bruce Wayne. But yeah, I'm waiting on his portrayal as Bruce Wayne to give my take. Yes.
Of a Christopher Nolan movie, and Christopher Nolan doesn't care that much about themes from the comics. He cares more about bigger themes, more cinematic themes in his view. And I loved those films. I don't want to fault those films at all, but I think it's really, really exciting what Matt Reeves made for that 2022 movie. I thought the first 20 minutes of that movie were perfect, and the other 2 hours of it were next to perfect. And I'm really excited to see. I mean, James Gunn has said that he has read this script. Only like 6 people have read the script, and he has very high hopes for it. This is the kind of studio head that will only greenlight movies if he feels super confident about the script. So I can't wait. Earlier this week in this article, The Hollywood Reporter also said that Barry Keoghan is going to be coming back as the Joker in this movie. I don't need it to be a Joker story.
Oh, yeah, no.
I've said that before.
Yes.
We've had a lot of Joker stories. If he just wants to be a background character who never leaves Arkham Asylum, that's fine by me. But we also know Arkham Asylum's getting pretty crowded because the ending of the Penguin series, season 1, put Sophia Falcone, or Sophia, whatever new moniker she wants to take, as the Hangman, is also in one of those cells. She got a letter from from
Her sister, Selena Kyle.
from Catwoman. So like they're connected, but it sounds like Selena Kyle, Zoe Kravitz is not going to be coming back in this movie. As to who Scarlett Johansson is playing, an interesting mystery. It could be a number of different characters. We
she's
don't
probably
think
the
it's
villain.
going to be a recasted Catwoman. Nope, not going to be Selena Kyle.
No.
I don't think it's going to be Poison Ivy.
No.
I don't think it's going to
you
be
never know, but
Vicky Vale, unless they're going to do a Lady Arkham version of Vicky Vale.
before he says this, for those who read The Long Halloween, I think she's going to be playing the wife of Harvey Dent, and I think she's going to be the Halloween killer. Right? That's the name. That's the name that she goes by in the comics, the Halloween killer. I think she's going to be the Halloween killer. Holiday killer. One of them says my comic people, you know what I'm talking about. And for the casual fans, long story short, there's a comic book a storyline called The Long Halloween, where there's a killer that's killing people on like special occasions. I'm not the best to explain this, but yeah, and it turns out to be the wife of Harvey Dent in that storyline. So yeah, I think she could be playing that character. I'm trying to remember the name of her. I'm trying to remember her name, but yeah, she I think she's the villain, and I think that's what she's playing.
I don't think it's going to be Talia al Ghul, because in order for it to be a Brave and the Bold story on the other side of the universe, they need to have their own version of Talia al Ghul. So I don't think we're going to get two different Talia al Ghuls. James Gunn, I just don't think would do that. So yeah, maybe a Lady Arkham, maybe an original character, maybe not someone from the comics. But where has Harvey Dent been in the Matt Reeves universe all this time? Because we know there was a Gotham City mayoral race, Bella Real. There's a lot of like municipal politics that were already on display. And
usually Harvey Dent and like Batman, they're like the same age. So I'm pretty sure the reason why we haven't seen Harvey Dent is because he's still coming up as a lawyer, as an attorney. So and then by the time the Batman 2 comes around, he's gonna already be, he's gonna have a high position. He's gonna be an attorney. So, yeah, I think that's probably why we haven't seen him yet. He was still climbing up the ranks.
The 2022 movie. So this guy has been somewhere in that hierarchy. And I think he's just going to fit really well in the universe with Robert Pattinson and Scarlett Johansson. This is going to be
crazy.
Great. Now, what does this mean for Sebastian Stan in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? He's going to be in Avengers Doomsday.
Doesn't matter.
We know that. He's one of the Thunderbolts. They're definitely going to be there. But if this movie's coming October 2027 and Avengers Secret Wars is coming in December 2027, doesn't it seem like Marvel Studios wouldn't allow him out of his contract if he was going to be coming back as Sebastian Stan in the follow-up movie in Secret Wars? Yeah, you know what?
I don't know how that works. This is quick. I don't know how that works, but I think they would let him. Like, why does he have to leave the contract just to film a film movie? I'm trying to say, he could just film around the schedule.
I'm getting at here, folks. I think Bucky Barnes could die in Doomsday. Some people have to die for it to matter. A lot of us thought he was going to die in Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I know where I
until
stand.
we saw that
I'm ready for him
chair
to die.
announcement and his name was still there. Some people are going to have to die. The guy's had a long run. He's been there since 2011. Yeah. It doesn't look great for the Winter Soldier in Avengers Doomsday.
Hey, that's perfectly fine with me.
It's going to
be sad.
Some people gotta eat shit. Some people gotta die.
All good things must come to an end.
Some people gotta die for it to matter. So I want to answer some questions. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this. You can order BetterHelp art therapy. BetterHelp license any instances. You can have 6% of Better. Truly make your first month has been saying support you in feeling lighter in 2026. Let's see what everyone has been saying. Zach, you just want to say them off camera or shout them off to me?
Michael Damon 24 says, do we see the whole Thunderbolts team getting toasted by the end of
Oh shit, that'd be wild.
Asking if all the Thunderbolts might be toasted in Doomsday. Ooh, man, could happen. I mean, how much of a future does Marvel Studios have in mind for David Harbour? I don't know how much. Hannah John Kamen is already on borrowed time. And Florence Pugh might have even bigger things in mind beyond the MCU. She's been around for a while.
Believe it or not, out of all the names you just said, I believe Florence Pugh is going to stick around. I think she's going to be the new Black Widow. I'm trying to say the new, of course, if the universe resets, when it does reset, let's just say, there's going to be a new actual Natasha Romanoff. I'm trying to say, but come on. For Florence Pugh, I mean, David Harbour and Hannah Jo Kim too, they're great. But Florence Pugh, dude, she's incredible.
I have to imagine Bob Century is just getting started, though. I don't know. But yeah, I imagine at least half of the Thunderbolts will probably die, and I think half of the Avengers could die, and all of the X-Men could die. It's called Doomsday. Doom is in the name.
Excuse me.
Some people are gonna die. What other questions?
Another one, Jared J saying, could this loosely remake The Dark Knight with both Harvey and Joker being in it?
No.
Yeah, I think so. You're gonna
No,
get some
I don't think
inevitable
so.
comparisons to Christopher Nolan's The Dark
Oh,
Knight if a movie
course,
has
yeah.
both the Joker and Harvey Dent in
Of
it.
course, yeah.
I get it. But in some ways, if it's a story about the society and political structure of the city of Gotham, yeah, Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight was very much about that. But The Dark Knight was such a Joker story. At the center of that movie, causing all of the chaos, was the Joker. So the way you avoid that comparison is you put a leash on the Joker and keep him in a cell
Yes.
and limit his screen time to maybe a total of 5 minutes. No more than that. Let it be a different story. And I think having
Strongly agree.
Harvey Dent,
I
maybe you
strongly
don't even
agree.
let him be Two-Face yet. But I think there's some interesting other directions you can go with Two-Face just from his visual style. I mean, Christopher Nolan and his team did some interesting erasure of Aaron Eckhart's face, but it wasn't very realistic. His eyeball was held up by nothing. there was no tissue that was supporting that eyeball. It would have dangled out. But if you have a dangling
It was
eyeball,
awesome.
there's no way you get
I
a
don't care.
PG-13 rating. But if you allow a movie to be R-rated, you could go even more extreme. You can go further. There'd be more blood. There'd be more red in it. It was pretty desaturated. Don't get me wrong. I thought it looked gnarly. I thought it looked really cool.
I was gonna
especially
say, imagine rated R. Imagine how, like you just said, imagine how gnarly that shit would have looked rated R. Oh my god, 'cause that shit was already pushing the limits.
liquor is oozing out of the side of his mandible, but there's just other places you can go. I think unfortunately The Dark Knight was not enough of a Two-Face story for me. So if you just let Two-Face be the primary villain in it, I think it could be really, really fun. Other questions people have?
Also, yeah, what percentage of this movie do you think he'll be Harvey Dent versus Two-Face?
Oh, I don't think it's gonna be all
Let
of it.
it be the midpoint of the movie.
Yeah.
Let the movie be palindromic
Or just the
in
third-
that nature.
or just the third
I
act
say.
in general.
The first half of the movie is Harvey Dent. The second half of the movie is Two-Face. I mean, we're talking Christopher Nolan Tenet at this point.
Oh,
right?
I was
Like,
gonna say,
but
what?
no, I mean, there's all kinds of interesting structural things that Matt Reeves, as a filmmaker and storyteller, is totally capable of doing by letting Sebastian Stan show two different sides of it. I mean, maybe we could even do an Oppenheimer structure and we flash back in time before the burning and after the burning, and we can see how he's a menace to Batman in two different ways. Are you willing to let Sebastian Stan be the bigger star, or if you have Robert Pattinson as Batman in the movie, do you still have to let him be the focus of it? Does this have a different title than the Batman Part 2 at this point? If Two-Face is in it, do you just call it something else? I mean, on the script page that Matt Reeves turned into James Gunn, it was the Batman Part 2, but it's the studio's decision. They can rename it whatever the hell they want.
Do you think potential for multi-film arc for Harvey Dent?
I hope, man. I hope.
3 films under Matt Reeves. I mean, it's going to be hard to have multiple recurring Batman in the DCU. I really don't know how they do it. I mean, Batman's too big of a character and he's too singular. And I know there's been multiple Batmans. Technically, we did have like the Batman, and we had different.
Your boy choked on saliva. Oh my god. Sorry, give me stop. What I was gonna say was, that is true. I would love a multi-film arc for Harvey Dent, but I don't think we're gonna get like 4 or 5 the Batman movies. I think we're gonna probably the most 3, 4 would be like reaching for the stars and hoping for the best. I'm trying to say, so I would love that. But it all depends on how many films, on how big the franchise is gonna be. Because remember, there's gonna also be a DCU Batman. So for those who are, and for the casual fans, the Batman with Robert Pattinson is not the Batman that's gonna be in the James Gunn DC. You know, the Superman movie that came out last summer, 2025. the Robertson the Robert Pattinson Batman is not from that universe. That is a completely different universe. So yeah, and in that universe, it's going to be a Batman as well. Superman movie, and that universe is going to be a Batman. So if that wasn't happening, I would have been like, oh yeah, I could see doing 3 or 4, but I don't know. I don't know now. I don't know. But anyways, sorry, your boy almost died.
Versions of Batman. We had the Lego Batman. We had Ben Affleck as Batman, and they were all kind of all on our screens at the same time. I mean, The Flash with Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne came out after the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. And then in that movie, we also had a Clooney Batman. So, like, I think we can figure it out. But a third movie for this? Yeah, I think there's always more story to be told. And Matt Reeves is someone who knows how to tell a serialized narrative. I guess my question is there going to be a second season of The Penguin? I want there to be. I want more exploration of that side of the universe. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's all of these. We can have 3, 4, 5 of all of these movies. It just depends on what I don't know what the trilogy story is yet. For Robert Pattinson's Batman movie. I watching the end of that movie, it didn't seem like it was one that was setting up Two-Face in particular.
Yeah.
So now that he is in there,
I felt like it just set up Bruce Wayne finally recognizing that Batman could be for something other than just darkness. I'm trying to say it could be the light. He could be a light at the end of a tunnel. So yeah,
we'll see.
Do you think this is increased evidence that after Secret Wars there'll be a full reboot of the MCU?
Yeah, I think for sure, like after Secret Wars, we're already going to see new heroes emerging and introduced. Sadie Sink probably going to be playing Jean Grey in that movie, which means you're probably going to be seeing other young new X-Men who take over after the Fox era X-Men
we're just gonna be
all done, killed
on
off,
Battle World,
given peaceful sunsets. Yeah, I think Secret Wars is going to introduce us to this new wave, and they hope that we're all really excited for them when the mutant saga begins thereafter. And I think a lot of these characters, maybe not all, but I think a lot of these characters are going to die, or they're just going to have ends. I guess the question now is, who makes it? Who gets to keep their role and title in the mutant saga? Are we still going to get to have Anthony Mackie as Captain America? Are we still going to have Brie Larson as Captain Marvel? Are we still going to have Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange? I assume we'll still have Tom Holland as Peter Parker, because that's like Sony's decision more than it is Marvel Studios.
Yeah, true.
But I do think generally Marvel Studios does need to properly do this. They wanted to kind of do this after Endgame.
Oh yeah, did y'all hear that Sony is apparently finally going to let Marvel Studios use their Marvel characters like Spider-Man, Venom, and you know. I wonder why. Hold on, let me get a little serious. Probably because they ain't know what the fuck they were doing. Y'all should have been did that. Why? Like, I know this is a tangent, but Sony, what the fuck were y'all on? Like, why? Same goes to Universal. They own the rights to the Hulk. Marvel Studios obviously know what the fuck they're doing with these characters. Their misses? Like, you remember how... Oh, I don't know if I uploaded that video, but I made a video talking about, the hit and miss of Marvel movies in the past couple years. Marvel at their lowest... Their movie, at their lowest, is an Oscar-winning movie compared to anything that Sony has produced. I'm sorry, but Sony, what the fuck were y'all doing? Why? What was y'all sniffing? Why did y'all think? Was it because the 2019 deal that almost went through, that Spider-Man wasn't going to be in the MCU anymore? So yeah, y'all got worried. So y'all were like, oh wait, let's jumpstart a franchise like that. If we have to remove Spider-Man from the MCU, we already have our own franchise that we could, just put him in. No. Every movie that y'all made since Venom 1 was progressively worse and worse. I will go as far as to say is, just give them the rights back. Just give them the rights back. after you have finished with Beyond the Spider-Verse and Brand New Day, and Spider-Man Noir, give the rights back to Marvel. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Like, and Universal. I give that a little bit of respect because y'all haven't like tried to do anything with the rights. I'm trying to say, and y'all haven't tried to be too stingy as Sony, but still, come on.
Introduce new characters in phase 4, as they then called it, but they didn't go with like the marquee characters. They didn't go with X-Men. They didn't have Fantastic Four until way later. So I think that's what they're going to have to do if they want to do it right in the Mutant Saga.
Could the Joker be more of a Hannibal Lecter and Silence of the Lambs figure?
Yep.
That's often the comparison of, if a really powerful villain is still kept behind bars, he must be kind of a Hannibal Lecter figure.
Yeah.
But I don't see how
I think that'll be
Joker
a great
played by
role
Barry
for
Keoghan in
Joker.
Kilgan? I think I'm supposed to say the G. Sorry about that. I don't think that version of the character is one who's like interested in giving advice. He's a little too unhinged. So I don't see him as being.
But I feel like that'd be a great role
an advice figure, the way Donald Sutherland was in Backdraft, you could say. Yeah, why don't we compare people to that instead of Hannibal Lecter? He's equally helpful. But yeah. I don't know what role he plays, but he could be a kind of figure that like still has bodies that are buried somewhere and gives them cryptic clues or jokes or something like that they have to help figure out. Or one of his associates. I don't think Scarlett Johansson is playing Harley Quinn. Please don't cast her as Harley Quinn. We've seen too many Harley Quinns in the past 5 years.
Not just that, I don't really see Scarlett Johansson as Harley Quinn. I could be wrong. They're actors for a reason. They're chameleons. But I don't necessarily see her as Harley Quinn. That's just me.
What are the odds Sebastian Stan's Harvey Dent gets a Penguin-like spin-off series?
I don't know.
A series? Isn't Sebastian Stan already in Heated Rivalry? Isn't that technically him? It's a joke. If you know, you know. The show Heated Rivalry is based on a Sam and Bucky fan fiction, which they actually read on the break room. You'll be able to see that as Stephen. What did I say? Sam and Bucky? Stephen Bucky. Yeah. I do think Sebastian Stan could show up in like the Penguin series to get his own spin-off series. It's a high budget series if someone like Sebastian Stan is in it. This guy has been nominated for awards. Yeah, I don't think someone like that would get a spin-off. Personally, but we're just gonna have to see how he fits into the world and how essential he is. I think right now they view the Penguin as their spinoff show, but I also just think with Netflix acquiring HBO as part of its Warner deal, I don't think you're gonna see a lot of shows like that on the HBO just because they're expensive. And Netflix just has a different model when it comes to streaming series. But you might see shows like this as like mini series on Netflix. We've had a lot of talk lately about like, well, with Netflix taking over everything, does that mean you're going to just see a liquidation of the 2-hour film structure? Because that only exists because that's how long people are willing to sit still in a movie theater. That or like 3 hours if it's Nolan or Scorsese. But like, yeah, Netflix is like, we want people to be watching us longer than that. So that's why you see a lot of like 6-episode, 4-episode miniseries on Netflix is they want people to be watching forever. So I think you're going to see a green lighting of more things like Baby Reindeer, Adolescence, Queen's Gambit, like things like that. And we might in our lifetime see like movies, 2-hour movies as we know them, not being as prevalent, still probably being around, just not as prevalent, not the dominant length and runtime of a story. So I just think we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg for how disruptive to this industry Netflix will be. This is a technology company that they are outthinking all of us right now and sprinting at a pace beyond the stroll that most of the studios are. We'll leave it there. Let's wrap it up there. Hey guys, thank you all so much for joining me for this breaking news live stream. I hope that like this was informative for you, and
Oh yeah, this is great. This is
that
great.
you're excited.
I feel like
for
I was there
this
with
as
him.
much as I am,
Talking with
because
him.
I mean, look, I'm gonna watch everything Sebastian Stan is in. I think that guy is incredible.
That dude is
the idea of him
incredible.
sharing the
He is
screen with Robert
amazing.
Pattinson and Scarlett Johansson, that just feels like an easy billion-dollar movie, especially if it's in the rich, crime-ridden world of Matt Reeves' Gotham City. I can't wait for this, and I can't wait to see trailers for it and to see more news blurbs about it. And we're gonna be covering all here on New Rockstars. When breaking news drops, you got to break into the New Rockstars Blue Dungeon with me, because I'm going to be answering your questions live in the future.
Yeah, but remember to take a break, bro.
I think we only have like 10 or 12 tickets left to our UCB live show on January 30th. If you live in the LA area, now's
those
your
that
chance to
care.
get them. But
I mean,
don't
I
have to live
care
in the
too,
LA
but
area. You can
for that one to
just
go.
click that link in the description, and you can watch it live where.
But anyways, dude, Sebastian Stan. I hope I said that right. Scarlett Johansson, Robert Pattinson, Barry Keoghan. Most likely, oh my God, what's the actress? The actress name that plays Zoe Kravitz. That's Catwoman, probably. Because remember, I think it was announced that she's probably not coming back for that movie. Now that she's done with the role, she might not come back for the Ben Part 2, but she will come back for another one. Trying to remember the names, and then of course the director Matt fucking Reeves, and also the executive producer. Damn, what's her name? Well, I think the showrunner for the Penguin. I think she was the executive producer for the Batman film. If I'm correct, her too. Oh, she is incredible. And then of course, the Penguin as well probably coming back. Yo, the Batman 2 is cooking up some heat, my guy. They're Matt Reeves is English Noah. Matt Reeves is cooking up, bro. Dude, it sounds incredible. But anyways, let me know what I think. Get excited for Sebastian Stan as Two-Face, and who do you think Scarlett Johansson is playing? And the last question, who do you think is the villain? Harvey Dent or whoever Scarlett Johansson is playing? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, like always, like, comment, subscribe, and deuces.